Hi everyone, and thanks for coming back for another video. So for today's video, I am going to be reading a story called Little Rabbit's Loose Tooth by Lucy Bate and pictures by Diane DeGroat. And I thought this was perfect because I know that so many of you are still losing some of those baby teeth. And with Easter coming up on Sunday, I thought that it would be the perfect time to read a story about rabbits. And if you stay for the second half of the video, I have a pretty cool craft that you can do at home. All right, let's get started. Little Rabbit had a loose tooth. It was her first loose tooth, and it wiggled a lot. At supper time, Little Rabbit said, "You know, I cannot eat carrots and beans. I have a loose tooth." But Father Rabbit said, "Carrots and beans are very good for little rabbits." "They are too hard," said Little Rabbit, "for little rabbits with a loose tooth." "Oh," said Mother Rabbit, "and what is soft enough for a little rabbit with a loose tooth?" Little Rabbit thought for a while. There were strawberries in the refrigerator. "Strawberries," she said, "soft strawberries." "You can have strawberries for dessert," said Mother Rabbit, "and you can chew the carrots and beans with your other teeth." "Are you sure?" said Little Rabbit. "I'm sure," said Mother Rabbit. "Are you sure, Daddy?" asked Little Rabbit. "I'm sure," said Father Rabbit. "I've done it myself." That was on Monday. On Tuesday, Little Rabbit chewed oranges with her loose tooth and cucumbers with her other teeth. On Wednesday, she chewed watermelon with her loose tooth and lettuce with her other teeth. On Thursday, she chewed vanilla pudding with her loose tooth and cabbage with her other teeth. On Friday, she chewed spinach with her other teeth and chocolate ice cream with her loose tooth, and the loose tooth came right out in the chocolate ice cream. It's right there. "I have a tooth in my chocolate ice cream," said Little Rabbit. "That's wonderful," said Mother Rabbit. "It's about time," said Father Rabbit. "What should I do with it?" asked Little Rabbit. "You should take it out of your chocolate ice cream," answered Mother Rabbit. Little Rabbit took the tooth out of the chocolate ice cream. "I have a window in my mouth," she said. "I can stick my tongue through it." "That's amazing," said Mother Rabbit. Little Rabbit put some chocolate ice cream in the window in her mouth. "Look," she said, "I have a chocolate tooth in my mouth." "How tasty," said Father Rabbit. Little Rabbit finished her dish of ice cream. Then she licked the chocolate ice cream off the tooth and took it to the sink and put the plug in the sink. She gave it a bath in cold water, and then she dried it with the dish towel and took it back to the table. "What should I do with my tooth?" she asked. "Whatever you want," said Mother Rabbit. "I could throw it away," said Little Rabbit. "Or you could put it under your pillow for the tooth fairy," said Mother Rabbit. "Why should I do that?" asked Little Rabbit. "When you are asleep, the tooth fairy will take your tooth and leave you a present," said Mother Rabbit. "Does the tooth fairy get to keep my tooth?" "Yes, of course," said Mother Rabbit. Little Rabbit put her tongue in the window in her mouth. Then she took her tongue out of the window. "What if I don't want the tooth fairy to keep my tooth?" she said. "Then there's no point in putting your tooth under your pillow," said Mother Rabbit. "I don't believe in the tooth fairy anyway," said Little Rabbit. "No," said Mother Rabbit. "No," said Little Rabbit. "There are lots of things you can do with tooth besides give it to a tooth fairy." Little Rabbit took her tooth and went into her room and thought about the things she could do. She could make a hole in it and put a string through it and wear it for a necklace. But then she thought the tooth might break when she tried to break the hole. She could paste it on a piece of paper and draw stars around it and hang it on her bedroom wall. But then she thought, that might look silly. She could put it in her pocket and take it to the candy store and try to buy some candy with it. But then she thought maybe the rabbit who owned the candy store would say that a tooth is not a penny. Then Little Rabbit thought she could throw the tooth away, but she did not really want to do that either. Little Rabbit went into the living room where Mother Rabbit was playing the flute. "Mommy," she said, "what if I believe in the tooth fairy?" Mother Rabbit put down her flute. "Then you'd better put your tooth under your pillow before you lose it. You can put it in an envelope if you want." Little Rabbit found an envelope and put the tooth in it. Then she went into her room and put the envelope under her pillow. Little Rabbit came back to the living room. "What kind of presents do tooth fairies leave?" she asked. "Well," said Mother Rabbit, "what do you think?" "I think they leave whatever they want," said Little Rabbit. "Money?" "Not a lot of money," said Mother Rabbit. Little Rabbit thought for a minute. "A penny?" Well, maybe a dime. A dime is smaller than a penny, Little Rabbit said. It's smaller, but it's worth more, said Mother Rabbit. A dime is worth 10 pennies. I know that, said Little Rabbit. I just wanted to make sure. Daddy, said Little Rabbit, I believe in the Tooth Fairy. Father Rabbit put down his newspaper so Little Rabbit could climb into his lap. And what do you think the Tooth Fairy wants with your tooth? She wants to give me money, said Little Rabbit. Oh, I see, said Father Rabbit. And what will she do with your tooth after she gives you the money? I think she will save my tooth and give it to a baby rabbit that was just born. And that's how little baby rabbits get teeth. Do you think that, Daddy? Ah, said Father Rabbit. Or, said Little Rabbit, I think she will put my tooth up in the sky because it is such a shiny tooth, and that's how stars get made. Do you think that, Daddy? Well, said Father Rabbit. Really, said Little Rabbit, I think she says a magic spell and she turns the tooth into a penny. I mean a dime. Do you think that, Daddy? I think, said Father Rabbit, that it is your bedtime. Okay, but would you please remind Mommy about my believing in the Tooth Fairy in case she forgets? I could, said Father Rabbit. My tooth is in an envelope under my pillow. That's good, said Father Rabbit. I have a window in my mouth. Window or no window, said Father Rabbit. It is time for bed. He gave her a goodnight kiss. Good night, Little Rabbit. Good night, Daddy. Little Rabbit got into her pajamas, brushed her teeth, and turned off the light, and got into bed. Mother Rabbit came to kiss her goodnight. Mommy, said Little Rabbit. Yes, said Mother Rabbit. Just in case there isn't a Tooth Fairy, said Little Rabbit. Yes, said Mother Rabbit. After I'm asleep, could you sneak and look under my pillow and look in the envelope? And if there isn't a present, could you leave one? Yes, said Mother Rabbit. You don't have to tell me, said Little Rabbit. You could just sneak. All right, said Mother Rabbit. Now good night, Little Rabbit. Good night, Mommy, said Little Rabbit, and she went to sleep. The stars came out and the moon rose up in the east, and the moon set in the west, and the stars went in, the sun came up, it was morning. Little Rabbit woke up. She looked under her pillow, she took out the envelope, she opened it up, and inside the envelope was a dime. The end. All right, well, I hope everybody enjoyed the story, and like I said earlier in the video, stay tuned for a fun little craft that has to do with some painting and a rabbit. So, all right, I'll see you guys soon. All right, so we just finished the story, Rabbit's Lost Tooth, so I thought that I could walk you guys through a craft that has to do with rabbits since Easter is coming up. So, the first thing that I did was I just took a blank piece of paper and I painted some grass with some flowers. And what's nice about this is you don't have to have a lot of things at home. If you just have some washable paint, I just used like the little Crayola classic washable paint. And I just drew a background. So then I put that to the side while that's drying. And then I'm going to email this template to everybody. So it's a rabbit, and I know he looks kind of funny because he has a bunch of lines, but I'm going to show you what we're going to do with it. So you'll have this printed out, and then I'm just taking a black marker, and I'm going to start to make lines in each of the shapes. Now what's cool about this is you could do lines, you could do different designs, you can do whatever you want. So for these two, I'm going to just continue to do lines. And I'm gonna do this throughout the entire picture. So I'm gonna continue to do this until I'm finished, and then I'll bring you guys back when I'm finished with this. All right, so I am all finished with the rabbit, and as you can see, I tried to do a couple different patterns throughout the rabbit as well. And I did go ahead and cut the rabbit out. So then I'm gonna bring my background over, and I just have tape because if you don't have glue, you can just use tape. So I'm actually gonna flip my rabbit over. I'm gonna put a couple pieces of tape on. And what you could do after you're done putting the rabbit on your background, you can even go ahead back in and add some more to the background once you have taped or glued your rabbit on. All right, so I'm going to flip the rabbit back over, And I know the rabbit's going to be covering a little bit of the flower, but that's okay. So I'm gonna put it all the way down and just press down. And then if you want, you could go ahead, go back in and maybe add some more background. You can add a sun or whatever you would like. And I hope you guys enjoyed this little craft, and it could be something that you could do, and it does take some time.